I think all in all, if you look at it, is that the leadership of South Mumbai continues. Slowly but surely, commercial has spread, and now it's not like one centers. We can't afford to make anything which is bad quality. Bad quality is expensive, good quality is cheap. There's nothing that Mumbai cannot do. We can be the best city in the world in the next 5 years. I'm concerned with the people who are middle class. I'm concerned with the people who are in the Jhopatpattis. They should get their houses.
Hello and welcome to Buzz by the Bay. Our guest today is someone whose name is synonymous with revolutionizing living spaces and real estate development in Mumbai. As the landscape of Mumbai changes and city limits are stretched with massive infrastructure projects underway, who better to comment on current problems and future real estate trends than property tycoon and visionary developer Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani. Hi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Anushka.
You have a very busy schedule. You're on so many government committees and boards, and of course the college board, the Hyderabad Sindh College Board, and you're probably busy 24/7. So it's great that you could make it here.
Thank you, and it's always fun to meet you with you.
So here we are, sitting in the southernmost tip of Bombay almost, right? And this used to be the commercial hub where we are, Nariman Point. But things are changing and everything has moved. Office, headquarters, consulates, everything's in BKC and beyond. Maybe South Mumbai is no more the most prestigious address to have. Do you think glory days of South Bombay are over?
I don't think so. You still have Mukesh Ambani living in South Bombay.
True.
You have the Chief Minister living in South Bombay. You have the Governor of the Reserve Bank living in South Mumbai. You have the likes of Mr. Deepak Parekh living in South Bombay. Right. So I think all in all, South Mumbai will not lose its leadership. What has really happened is the fact that the city has grown. Wealth has grown, people have grown, populations have grown. And since we are an island city, remember, we had to move northward. So I think all in all, if you look at it, is that the leadership of South Mumbai continues, but the growth which takes place, the quantum of growth in the suburbs and extended suburbs is disproportionately bigger. Let me give you a number.
Right.
If you look at the total number of new houses being constructed in South Mumbai as compared to the total construction in MMR, it's less than 1%.
Right. So where is the major development taking place? Which are the new areas right now?
Fortunately, Anushka, lots of new areas. So let's look at the progression which has taken place. You mentioned it too. We moved from, let's say, the commercial part first, because we are in South Mumbai, the tip of the commercial district of Nariman Point. It moved to Parel. So you have a lot of commercial establishments taking place there. Then we also moved to BKC, which is a big commercial area. Then we had the entire belt from Andheri to Powai and to Ghatkopar. That's another belt of commercial items. Then we had Thane as commercial. In fact, our company really brought in more commercial there, and Navi Mumbai too. So slowly but surely, commercial has spread, and now it's not like one centers. Earlier, it was just one center of being South Mumbai, Nariman Point, but today it is multiple centers, and people are there because people want to be closer to their place of work. And obviously the kind of facilities which you're seeing, the township facilities in the northern areas are much bigger, better, qualitatively and quantitatively bigger.
Quality is so important, but there are people who have asked you whether high quality means that the housing is not affordable, but your group is known for quality.
We can't afford to make anything which is bad quality. Whether you have food, you should have good quality. Whether you have clothing, you should have good quality. Whether you have housing, you should have good quality. But people are making a mistake in misunderstanding the word quality in terms of the value add, in terms of amenities and luxury. So let's give an example. If I buy a Maruti small car, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs of rupees, and on the other hand, I buy a Mercedes Benz of 60 lakhs of rupees, of course the Mercedes Benz is good quality. There are less amenities and facilities in a Maruti, but it's good quality. So you can't afford to have bad quality in anything. Why should you have bad quality in the case of homes? Yes, you may not have luxury. You may not have marble on the flooring, or you may not have concealed everything in terms of the thing, or you may not have false ceilings and amenities and other things that are there. You may not have swimming pool and other facilities but you do need a garden. You need a school in the neighborhood, you need a hospital in the neighborhood. All that is qualitatively updated. So people mix up the luxury element of a product with quality. Quality is separately defined, and we as Indians must get into the idea that quality is essential, bad quality is expensive, good quality is cheap. Let's take an example of our buildings. So we have made buildings, 500 buildings, 1,000 buildings. None of them are likely to fall or require graniting or redevelopment. While there are many other buildings and of people all over the country where in 20 years the buildings are requiring repairs and all that stuff. And they may have been cheap as compared to it, but it's so expensive today to do all that.
Yeah, so as you said very correctly, bad quality is expensive.
Very.
People think bad quality is cheap, but bad quality actually works out to be more expensive. And you said not to confuse luxury with quality. I mean, those are very good points. So for your group, where is the major amount of development happening now, the locations?
So we did all over the city suburbs basically. We did in Malad, we have done in Pala, we have done in Versova, we have done in Mulund, in Chembur. But prominent large projects have been in Powai, where we have developed the Hiranandani Gardens. The second large project is in Hiranandani Estate in Thane on Godbandar Road. And the third is the Hiranandani Fortune City, now in Panvel. So these are large township projects where we have all the facilities that you can imagine. So whether you have if you have the buildings, you have commercial, you have gardens, you have school, you have a hospital, you have all the facilities that you can possibly imagine, commercial, IT, retail, all of it is there. Good roads, and you have sewage recycling plants which actually recycle all the way to water. So in Powai we have a 4 million liters per day recycling plant.
Fabulous.
And we reuse that water. The whole city of Mumbai doesn't have that much.
So amazing to hear about the recycling of water and the sustainability that you incorporate into your project. That's so important, and I want to come to that a little later. But we're seeing a lot of changes in the infrastructure in Mumbai, right? I mean, metro, the Trans Harbour Sea Link. So how is that going to change construction, and which are the new vistas in terms of property for development? So
let's talk two separate things. First, the infrastructure. For 65 years, we had 190 kilometers of suburban rail, Western Railway, Central Railway, Harbour Line. We didn't add anything for 65 years. So we were packed like sardines in a can as far as the railway lines are concerned. Now, fortunately, the government has now started the metro work, and we are adding 330 kilometers of metro in the next 2 years, which will change the paradigm of commuting in Mumbai region, actually. Second, we have a coastal road, and on the eastern side, we have the MTHL, the Cross Harbour Bridge, which is 22 kilometers over the sea. And it will open up vistas of development which is unheard of within 30 minutes from South Mumbai. We have another railway line which is VT to Panvel, which is going to be extended to Karjat, with the railway stations coming over there. And of course, one of my projects also come up there.
Oh, okay.
See, today, Anushka, try and understand. We are adding 300 vehicles to Mumbai every working day. And you're not increasing the road length or road width or whatever. Unless you don't do that, or you don't extend the vistas of development into the suburbs, extended suburbs, Navi Mumbai, Panvel, and that line and all, it will be difficult to live in Mumbai. So
Yes.
with the metro, with the connectivity and all this, I think the future is great on this side. And it's my belief that the eastern side is going to develop much faster because more land is available, more possibilities. So there's going to be a paradigm as far as Mumbai is concerned. In the next 5 years, you're really going to see a change.
Wow, I mean, and we look forward to that because the city is choking, right?
Sure.
I mean, right, but the infrastructure will have to keep pace.
Yes.
Right now, it's not keeping pace.
So
with
what has
development.
happened is, and you're right, Anushka, that what has happened is that first the development is taking place and then the infrastructure is coming out. The reverse is to happen.
What about the impact on green spaces with all this development?
Well, that's a big challenge because with the number of people being more, the green spaces are really inadequate as far as this is concerned. And hopefully they've just made an announcement that along with the coastal road, they're going to have green spaces, they're going to have cycling tracks and other things along with the entire coastal road. So that is open. The other side, you have the 1600 acres of land which is with the Mumbai Port Trust.
Right.
Hopefully a part of that will be redeveloped and part of it will be green, which is what Mr. Gadkari has mentioned.
What about in your complexes and development?
Well, 25% of our land is full of green spaces. So you have more than 50 acres of gardens and forests when you come into our project.
So, the big topic of slum redevelopment. As a visionary developer, I mean, how would you address the problem? We know Dharavi tender has gone to Adani, for a huge amount, and there's going to be a special purpose vehicle and they're going to develop it along in conjunction with the government. But why has slum redevelopment failed all these years? And what do we do? Like even slums in Cuff Parade, I mean, juxtaposed with high-rise buildings, which are such expensive real estate. What's your solution for this?
So it's my dream, and it was Balasaheb Thackeray's dream too. I happen to be on the committee appointed by Mr. Balasaheb Thackeray for slum redevelopment. Mr. Afzal Pulkar was my chairman, and I also am a co-signatory to the slum elimination plan. As a city, I don't think we have succeeded. So I think what we really need is an initiative from the government, maybe government bodies like Municipal Corporation, MADA, SRA, MMRDA, CIDCO, to take up slum redevelopment to do. I've just become chairman of Naredco.
Congratulations.
I'm going to propose to the government that Naredco will take up some of these projects because ultimately it's the city. So a lot of smaller people have done projects, but at the grassroots level, there are a huge number of problems. And we need to make modifications in the SRA policy and schemes so that we don't get into difficulty for the slum policy. And I think the CM has also appointed, Mr. Shinde has appointed CIDCO to do a cluster redevelopment of slums in Thane. Remember, we have a very bad record. We are the richest city in India. MMR is really doing a catch up. But 50% of my population live in Jhopatpattis. Very sad.
It is sad.
We have to change that. And there is a possibility of doing it.
There is a possibility.
Of course.
So
Everything, all these things which are big things look difficult, they look impossible, but they're not. Actually, you really have to get down to it and work on it, and I'm sure this government or central government together with the states will be able to do it. We in Naredco would love to support such a cause. I want to propose on behalf of Naredco, which is actually a creation of the Ministry of Housing, Government of India, that we could take up the whole thing and along with probably the government agencies that I talked about to work on this plan that in 7 years we eliminate all slums in Mumbai. The scheme is the same. We'll have to change policies on the ground where people cannot just oppose the redevelopment because of stupid reasons. And if we do this project, not only will we eliminate slums in Mumbai, but we'll make 20 to 25,000 crores of rupees at the end of 5 to 7 years. So it's a money making. This redoing the slums is not
loss.
Not a loss at all. You have to invest about 5,000 crores to start with for running this machine. But once the machine is on, you'll make a lot of money. 20,000 crores is no joke. for any state or city or whatever it is, and you are giving free houses.
So as Chairman of Naredco, we looking forward to your chairmanship and the proposals you're putting forward.
It can also be done along with the government bodies. So it's not just there. We are also a government agency in which Naredco is a part of government of India's machine in terms of collaboration between the real estate sector and the private sector and the government sector.
So there is an opinion amongst developers that the BMC, the municipal corporation, is milking the city, driving up housing prices, making housing much more expensive. What's your view on that?
It's a fact. There are enough statistics to show that the charges, development charges, open space, land under construction cost and other thing is so prohibitive. You go to extended suburbs like Mulund or Borivali and all that, you have to pay more than 5,000 to 6,000 rupees a foot to the city in order to build the building. So obviously you can't sell it cheap. So affordable housing in the city is impossible.
Yeah.
Because the charges which are there, the stamp duty, the ready reckoner rate, the charges which are there of the government and other things in terms of the costs which are there, development charges and others, for additional FSI and other things is unbelievable. And that is what makes Mumbai non-competitive as compared to Bangalore, Hyderabad and the other cities.
Right.
So it's making it so expensive that obviously new investments will move more to Hyderabad and Bangalore as compared to our NCR, as compared to Mumbai.
So right now, what's the percent of affordable housing in Mumbai or low cost housing? What is that of total?
Zero.
Zero. Okay, so obviously these...
Even MADA sells high price housing now. There's nothing that Mumbai cannot do. We can be the best city in the world in the next 5 years. We just have to work it right.
That's good to hear you say that we can be the best city in the world.
Yeah, we can. It's not difficult. If I told you there is enough land across the harbour 30 minutes away from where you're sitting just now, vacant, equivalent to half of the city of Mumbai available to you.
Wow, staggering.
It's unbelievable. Nobody believes it. Look at the map and it's there.
Amazing. Amazing. So we're relying on you then to make this the best city in the world in the next 5 years.
Well, I have ideas. Fortunately, government does give us opportunity to hear from us.
What's your outlook on property prices in Mumbai? I think a recent report from Knight Frank has forecasted a 5% increase in residential property prices in 2024.
See, I'm not bothered about the high prices of Mumbai. I'm not interested that the most expensive house in the world is Mr. Ambani's house of Antilla at Altamount Carmichael Road. I'm concerned with the people who are middle class. I'm concerned with the people who are in the Jhopatpattis. They should get their houses. What is missing is that in the city, there is not enough affordable housing. And I'll give you a statistics, you've given me some, I'll give you one which is even more alarming. First time in the history of India, in my whole career of 40 years, the growth of affordable housing is slower than the growth of middle level and luxury housing.
Really?
It's never happened. In 40 years of my career, I cannot imagine that affordable housing's pace of growth is slower than middle level and luxury housing. Kabhi nahi hua.
Quite alarming. Yeah.
It's alarming. It's unbelievable. So what is going wrong is not the fact that the prices are going up. It doesn't matter. Let the prices go up. Let the rich pay more. It doesn't matter. How does it matter? Let them pay more. It's okay. You will have Mukesh Ambani, you will have Ruiyas, you will have Godrejes, and all the rich people should have rich houses and good money. It will create a kind of an ambience which is rich. But what about 97% of my people? Take care of them. So my concern is more not to worry about that. Manage to get the affordable segment out and see that they get sufficient houses. Whether it is affordable in terms of buying, if it is not affordable in terms of buying, affordable in terms of renting, quality houses, not just Jhopatpattis.
Yeah. No, I mean that's great that you put this point across, right? The rich can afford and they will buy bigger and better houses.
They'll buy the Bentleys and the Mercedes Benzes and all these cars and all that. So I'm saying the rich को कुछ भी करने दो ना, private jet में जाने दो. But as long as all the other people can also afford it, that is important to do.
Absolutely.
They should even, in fact, have helicopters for all these riches so that they don't travel on the roads.
I love it. What a great idea.
But
Absolutely.
the point is we confuse this class of people whom we should not worry about. They will take care of themselves. And they don't like the house here, they'll go and stay in Dubai or London or wherever.
True.
But what about the rest of the people? They can't go anywhere. Those are the ones we don't worry about. Why?
Why? Yes, that's $1 million question.
So we need to, that's what I'm saying, the Balasaheb idea of slums was very important because we really want to sort out that issue, and a time has come where it is now feasible. At that time there was no money available. That much money was not available to actually do those projects.
We're looking to you to change the landscape and solve the problem of affordable housing. Seriously. So coming to another issue, which is a more sociological issue, this growing residential segregation in many cities in India, right? Especially with regards to religion and caste, especially sadly with regards to Muslims. I know of housing societies which don't want Muslims to buy home. I mean, what's your view of this as a developer, and how can we sort of change this situation or avoid this situation?
I've sold 25,000 flats. We've never segregated or done secular. I know at least 50 top developers in India. They've never done it.
Yes.
But you're going to get some persons who do it and some societies and some areas which will happen. And whether it is India or whether it is America who look to do the blacks are a problem, you'll have this problem everywhere. I think it's exaggerated.
Okay.
But the problem is different. Whenever you have shortages, we want our community to go into somebody else's community. Why would you want to go to some other community building? Why? But because you don't have adequate choice, you are upset that I cannot buy that apartment. The problem is when you don't have adequate supply of houses, we worry about the idiosyncrasies of a particular society or group of people. So create enough surpluses in housing.
So coming to, you are big on giving back to society. You have hospitals, you are on the Hyderabad Sindh Collegiate Board, and you already spoke about your efforts towards, climate action and sustainability. Tell us a little bit about your philanthropic projects and what is your philosophy on life in that regard?
There's no philanthropy.
Okay.
My giving back to society is because I have so much that if I go back to God and I don't give back, then I feel, I think somewhere down the line he's going to send me back and say he's live in this same world.
Oh gosh, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to keep him there. So I've always had the ambition that I must do that. So hence the colleges, hence the education, hence the hospital. We're working on transplants. We're working on diabetic. We want to eliminate diabetes in India. So we're working on that. We're working on so many things like skill development. We skill the 4,000. This year we skilled 4,000 poorest of poor. For me, this giving back is as important as my business. Okay. In fact, in a way, much more important.
So a bit about your personal journey. Your father was a doctor, a medical doctor. Did he want you to become a doctor? How did you get into real estate? And at that time, it was sort of associated with notorious elements, right? So what was your journey?
Well, my father was disappointed that I didn't choose medicine, but luckily my elder brother Naveen was a doctor, becoming a doctor 10 years older to me, and hence he tolerated my intolerance, what I was doing. Got into Sydenham College in Commerce because that was the thing that I took up, and I finished my BCom, stood second in the university in Bombay, and then I did my chartered accountancy, and I was conned into it by Mr. Nani Palkhiwala and my father to do my CA, then got into the business of business. Started with a textile unit in Charkop, Kandivali, a powerloom unit. Got into real estate and then losing money in both.
Okay.
And then had to sell one.
The textile.
The textile one. But there's a story to that.
Oh, okay. What is that?
I didn't know which one to sell. I got a notice from the union in the textile unit asking for 100% increase in wages.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I asked the union leader, आपका कोई वो zero में कोई mistake तो नहीं है? 10% होना चाहिए ना? तो बोले नहीं वो दत्ता सामंत का आइडिया था. तो मैं बोला वो 100% increase तो नहीं हो सकता. So he said, no, it's 100%. I'm sure I could have negotiated with him, but I couldn't decide between the two businesses which to sell. So I think that letter decided it. So somebody above added a zero for me in order to make a decision.
So can I have 3 mantras for success from you?
I think the first is focus. You have, whatever you take in life, you have to focus on, no matter what you do. If you focus on it adequately enough, then only then can you do it. The second, I think important is to learn the line. You have to really get into that subject and pick up the skill sets which are necessary. Okay. And the third is hard work.
Unanimous. Yeah.
Can I say a fourth?
Yes, of course, please.
The fourth is to love your work.
Okay.
So people must learn, if you want to succeed, love what you do.
So we have a last expert tips section. So advice for the youth out there who are debating between renting and buying homes. What would your advice be?
In the beginning of life, you may want to rent a place because you can't afford to buy. But today, young people are saying we never will buy. And I think that's really wrong on their part. They must learn to buy. Right. Because in India, we don't have social security. Number two, you have to understand that the interest rates in home loans are the lowest in this country.
Okay.
As compared to any other loan. Third, you get tax benefits for the purposes of deduction. Yeah. So all in all, it's always recommended you must buy a house, even if it's a small house that you buy.
Advice for second home buyers in Mumbai specifically, where would you advise them or recommend them to invest in the MMR region? So
let's say a Thane or a Panvel, these areas are likely to grow, and once the infrastructure comes there and the development comes there, the prices are likely to double. So there is from an investment perspective, I think extended suburbs with a good developer whom you can trust, and in areas where you know the development is going to be good.
Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your views. They are wonderful and your recommendations are amazing. Thank you.